Hi everyone, I'm Virginia Killmore and welcome to my studio. Today's card features Butterfly Brilliance that I showed you a little bit last week, and the Memories and More card pack, which is a great deal. Let's get started so I can tell you more about it. So this is the card we're making, and today is Case a Card Monday, which means we're sharing or copying someone's card. Casing is copy and share everything. So, and this is from Heidi Collins. I love her cards, so I do case a lot of her cards. And it's a relatively easy card to do, especially when you use a Memories and More pack. A Memories and More pack is designed is a little bit bigger, so it comes with its own envelopes, but I love it because the surface is already stamped for you. And look at, even the envelope is already stamped. And then you just add some coordinating papers and you have a great card right to start off. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but I decided to sort of soften my edges and use my blending brush to go ahead and fix that up. So we're going to start right out there. I'm going to set this aside and bring in a piece of paper so I don't make a mess of my surface. And my blender brushes are my favorite new tool. I use them quite a bit. And they are wonderful because they're nice and soft. Now, there's some dilemma as to whether you should wash them in between. I actually bought 6. And I even sell these little blender clips so that all your brushes can become color coded. See how all of mine have different colors. My blender brush clips are $8 and postage paid to you. You don't have to pay for any postage. If you buy a blender brush through me, I will send you that free. I 3D print them, so I'm kind of excited about them. So to start, I'm just going to sort of pounce, and I'm going to just sort of play with it over here to see what it's doing, because sometimes your ink is super wet or super dry, and you don't want to just go right in and overdo it right off the bat. The thing with a blender brush that's hard for a lot of people is you don't see a lot of stuff right away, especially if you're using a very light ink like I am today. But you just have to keep going over it and over it. And I'm really trying to concentrate my color at the edges so that I have sort of more information or more contrast right there which is my focal point. So that's why I don't want it super dark in the middle. I want that contrast to sort of bring your eye to the center. So I'm doing something they call vignetting. That's sort of just softening the edges. I used to do this a lot in photography where you soften. Old-timey photos have that too. So my blender brush is great for that, and if I want to apply more pressure, I can actually stick my finger on top of it, but I find this is plenty. And I start off super soft, and then I start putting more and more pressure, and it's hard to see that when you're watching me do this, but that is the process. We start super soft and then build and press harder and harder to get more color on there. And I think that's plenty good enough right now. And now I need to build my components. So the first thing I need is my paper. And I'm working with 2 kinds of paper, so I'm going to show them to you. One is Dandy Garden. That's my all-time favorite new paper, though I love the butterfly one. And I'm working with this paper that's very similar or the opposite of this pattern. So this pattern's white on with yellow writing, and this one's bumblebee with white writing. So it's kind of an interesting little play called Dandy Garden. And then I'm using a little piece of True Love paper, and I'm trying to remember which one I'm using. This one right here. So I'm taking a strip. Now I only took a 1" by 4" strip, and then I sliced it in half because you don't need a lot. And I'm going to start out by gluing it right to this piece where I want it. That way I know I have it exactly where I want it. I'm going to just take a little strip of glue. I watch so many people use glue, and they use so much glue. You don't need a lot. And the other thing I don't do that I should show you is using this little tool, because how many times you put glue down on your surface and then you go to do something else and everything sticks to it. So I'm just going to put a little glue on here, and by little I mean really a tiny amount. And then all I got to do is sort of line it up, but I just want a tiny little strip showing, and I can make adjustments now that it's wet. And I think that's pretty good. Now I'm going to glue that right on there. Again, dot, dot, not a lot. I just love the black, really is strong, and I think it works great. So the next thing is to get our butterfly. And what I did with my butterfly is I took the giant cutter that you get with the Butterfly Brilliance, and I cut out a bunch of butterflies. So I have them all stored in here. I keep all my extras in my box. I pulled one out, and then I found the corresponding detailed one to go with it. So now I'm going to have to cut that out of black, which I have a piece right here. And I'm also going to need to punch a circle. So I am going to grab my little cutter. I love having the little one here because it makes it so easy to show you all the process without trying to fit it in the big one. Let's see if this piece is going to fit. Yep, no problem. One of the things that have surprised me is how few pieces fit in here. That's the only part I don't like. I wished a full-size piece would fit in. So let's see how good that came out this time. If it's not good, oh, that did come out much better. So now we're going to clean it up. I'm going to set this over here out of my way, and I am going to use my tool to pop some of these out. This tool makes it so easy. It's on the end of my take your pick tool, and it's just a little brush that sort of cleans out a lot of these little pieces that are hard to get out. Sometimes it's just best to do it when it's out of there. And then the real stubborn ones, you just take your take your pick tool and you run them, you poke them out. So there's always a couple that are missing, and we'll poke those out by hand. So I'm going to take one over here that's done so that you don't have to watch me poke all of those out. It takes a little time. So now what I'm going to do is color in this butterfly. That's going to be the backing for this butterfly. I'll put that on there, but I'm going to color it in with some of that yellow that we used earlier. And what did I do with that? Oh, there it is, right here. Oh, the foibles of doing things on TV. I could probably, I call it TV, it's just digital. You can tell what's era I'm from. So you see how I'm just sort of focusing some color on the center and then just doing the edges a little bit. For those of you that are interested in these little clips, there's a link at the bottom of the information today. You can go right on Etsy and order them if you'd like. And then again, if you order the brushes through me, I will send it to you for free. If for some reason I have not, let me know because I will send it to you. Okay, so now that's done. Let's put this together. And I'm just going to glue that right on there. See how that fits? It's just so nice how that fits. I think it's really pretty. And I'm going to set that aside. Now all we have left to do is to build our sentiment. So our sentiment is done with a circle punch and a piece of basic black cardstock, which I'm going to pull out because I had enough, but then I had to cut out another one, another butterfly. So I'm just going to cut it out of the middle. And this happens to be, oh my gosh, today is one of those days, a 1 1/4 inch punch, which is retired. But we do have a 1 1/2 inch punch that I think looks just as great. I just happened to grab that one. So, so this sentiment comes from a set called Many Messages. I know I've showed it to you before. I love this set because I always have the ability to make a message very quickly using the cutters from it. The cutter cuts out, I think, almost 20 different messages. I've never actually counted. And what I do is sometimes I stamp a set of them. The set has been stamped and set aside. And if I wanted to, I could just use one of these today. Maybe that's what I'll do, is use this one because it's there. But I'm going to show you anyways. I always have blank ones sitting around in different colors, and I store them right in here. And I'm going to show you how you can stamp the message once you have this set up. So what I did was I took the piece that I cut it out, I inked this up and didn't do anything with this yellow piece. I stamped on the white paper. Then I took and lined up very carefully this template from that's left over with it. And now if I just lay a piece in here, I know I had one out. Oh, I guess I didn't. I had decided to I think I'm going to use the thank you one. Let's see how that fits. See how I just fit that in there? And now if I just ink that, I will get that message. I could stamp a bunch of them. I'm going to do this one. I kind of like this one better. But I'm going to stamp them both at the same time. Because I'm stamping them with black, they go with lots of stuff. So I'm going to really just concentrate my ink in here. And I'm using Memento. The main thing I want it not to move, and if it's in that little, template, it's not going to move very much. Now, the nice part about this is if I don't get it dark enough the first time, I can always come back and do it again. Like, I think that needs darkening. So I'm going to stamp it again, and you get perfect stamping every time. I'm going to find out if I really say what I mean. The way things have gone today. Look at how much better that is. That's already gotten a lot darker. I'm going to put one more round of color. Sometimes you just want a really good definitive dark color. Oh, that's much better. Look at how nice that pops. We'll pull them both out and we'll decide which one. And I leave this set up. I actually glued this piece right here. And anytime I need to reset it, if I move this, I'm in trouble. But because I have this and I have extra ones, I can just flip-flop this one for another one. So I keep this set up for any time I need it. So now I'm ready to put the card together. All that. So I'm going to set that here. I think I like that the best. And I am going to use some dimensionals to get my message across. Thank you for your patience today because I've had several issues. And now I'm just going to put this down, and then I'll set my butterfly in place. Okay, well, that wasn't too bad. Now I like this because I can put this on the butterfly and then flip up those wings a little bit. So I'm going to set that on there like this, and then I'm just going to flip these wings up just to add another little dimension. We'll save that for later. And now I have this beautiful card and envelope all set to go. It may seem like it was a lot more work than I intended it to be, but I still love it. Just look at how neat all these different sentiments would be on here. So I hope you enjoyed. I want to remind you that tomorrow is Coffee and Cards. We start at 10:30 and it's a free event. I've already posted the stuff you'll need. And if you are on my mailing list, you should have gotten an email already with what you'll need for tomorrow. The card we're doing, well, it's right here. Here it is. I love this card. It's a really neat fold card. Isn't that beautiful? So we'll be doing that tomorrow at 10:30. I hope you'll join me then and check it out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.